Well, you can see it directly above me. It's Apex. So there's only one reason this video is coming out now. This is Ark Review. I'm Admiral Pegasus, and this, well, I think this is Star Trek Fleet Command. Hi everybody and welcome back to the channel. Now, yes, as I said, this is Ark Review. Strange New Worlds, Part Uno. Well, what can we really say about this Ark? To be perfectly frank, right, it's a Spender's Ark, okay? Spender's Ark. So if this is a free-to-play, if you are a free-to-play player like myself, then yeah, you can just basically scrub this off. But there have actually been some good points. So let's start with the down stuff. Okay, so we'll get out the events, and what we're going to do is, nope, I'm not in my base yet, so let's get in my base. This is unedited, so this is going to all be raw. I have been working on the Meridian video, which I said was coming up next, but unfortunately I've encountered a couple of hiccups with it, so I'm currently working on it. So here we go, the start of it then, Galaxy Tree. We was introduced to a new set of 90 nodes of research, culminating here with Boday's Hall. Now, well, actually starting with, should I say, not culminating, because culminating is the end. I don't know what's at the end, because that's up to level 60. But the one thing is we were given a whole whack of new nodes to research and everything, and a new particle. Rhodidium. Yes, now I have been building up my Rhodidium since I breached the G4 region, and I got to say that's one of the ups for me for this month. I actually went to G4 about 6 months early, but I got bored. But anyway, so yeah, so we got this, and to be perfectly honest, right, it was new research and everything, and then the content creators obviously let us in on a little secret on this one. Rev Juice and Ultimate DJs basically said what you pay in resources, materials, spent to speed your research up, any latinum that you need to spend on resources, uncommons, and to speed it up is not going to be the net worth return of what you're going to get out of this tree. Oh, big fat lemon. Yeah. So for me, this part is actually going to be a downer, because obviously I'm not even going to attempt this tree, because if the content creators are saying that this is bad, then yes, okay, their word is not gospel. Before anyone starts shouting, their word is not gospel. You don't have to listen to what they say. I do. Well, mostly, because if I fully listened, I would have stayed at 39 until I got my jellyfish, until all my efficiency research was smack bang up to date. In fact, till all my research was pretty much done, until my Enterprise and Augur were both T8. I would have stayed there. But I don't always listen. But with this, when I'm being told that the net returns of what you're going to get out of this tree is not even worth the time. I mean, I think Rev Juice calculated it something like 17 years to complete what he had. That's a long time for a small amount. So to me, it's not even worth it. So to me, this is a big failure. Yeah, and we're not. Yeah. Now, another thing that I found a bit of a headache, but it turned into a good thing, was the officer sourcing. In fact, I tell you what, before we actually get into the officers, let's move down south a little bit to this lovely building here, the holodeck. Now, great introduction, means you can catch up on all your missions and everything from the previous arcs, especially for those newer players who have not been in the game as long as a lot of us veterans have. So which means you're going to get a chance to do all these missions, but pattern buffers. There's only one place to get them at the minute, Paystore. And I believe that Well, in fact, I'm not even going to look at it. Yeah, come on, let's have a giggle. Let's have a giggle, right? Now, I know No One Shall actually looked into this, and he bought a pack and did a video on this. And the amount of pattern buffer returns you actually got for this was enough to do 2 missions, or 1. And that's if we can actually find the holodeck, because it just seems... I must have missed it. So, please hold the line. Okay, so... either it's been taken down, or... Okay, I'm going to guess it's been taken down, but I think I think you spent something like $50 on it, or something like that. But he got enough to do 2 missions, and... yeah. So, it's paywalled. Is it going to be a free-to-play source so we can actually do these? Because me, as much as I've already done these missions, I would love to go back and get this. I mean, even Tesco's put it correct. Every little helps. So, I don't know about some of their prices lately, but I ho. But, yeah. And for those across the pond who don't know what Tesco's is, it's a big supermarket where we go shopping. Well, I don't. I go to Iceland and not the country. But yeah, so we can go and revisit old missions, a bit of nostalgia for us veterans if we really wanted to. But again, we have to actually pay for it. So, crap out of luck for us free-to-play players. Woohoo! Now, I will let you in on a little thing that I've heard as well, is apparently this arc was planned months ago as a Spenders arc. The officers that were given to Scopely had no idea what these officers were going to be in the show, because they weren't told anything. So, the officers that we got were what we got. And I've got to admit, the missions, and I am going to touch on the missions before we get into the officers, have actually been a plus side for this arc, because while reading the dialogue that they put in, I have actually noticed each officer's reflections and personality traits in each one. So considering they didn't know how these characters were going to act, Lalan, we've not even met her. Pike, we met him in Discovery Season 2. Spock, we met him in Discovery Season 2. The 3 officers we've been given. Reginald Barclay from The Next Generation. Yeah, well, I don't know anything about him because I've not even looked at him. But, yeah, the 3 officers we've been given, so we know about Spock and Pike, so obviously they could create the dialogue based on that, and I've got to admit, it's actually been pretty good. Lalan, they've done their best to fit her in and do whatever with her, and to be honest, it's not far off what she actually is in the show. So, upcoming, we've still got other officers to come, so I'm going to hazard a guess we're going to be getting another at least a part 2 of this arc, because there's Mbenga, the Doctor, there's Una, the First Officer, there's Ortegas, the Helm Officer. I mean, she's a cracker of a pilot. I mean, Demma in Discovery Season 3, she acts like this big Top Gun pilot, shall we say, and really feels that the blame was on her for Discovery crashing in Season 3 into that ice planet. But Ortegas takes pilot cockiness. Sorry, I've got a bit of a dry throat. She takes pilot cockiness to the next level, and I mean, she's funny. She is funny as hell. I do love some of the comments she comes out with, so I really cannot wait to see if she comes into the game. Now, so yeah, that's the officer. So let's have a quick look at her, because obviously we've got the sourcing to talk about. Was it good or was it crap? Well, to be perfectly frank, it was a pile of crap. Yes, you could get the 2 rare officers as free to play, but it took you right up until the end of the arc, and you had to do the ticketing events to get them. You had to do the battle pass, and I believe you actually also had to at least buy some of the shards in the elite side of the battle pass, so the chances of getting it free to play weren't very high whatsoever. But why was that? Because there was no leaderboards for them. There was one solo leaderboard, and that was for Pike. That was it. And that's the only reason I got Pike, is because of that solo leaderboard. finishing second in my bracketing, it was highlight for me. I mean, yes, I really would have preferred first place, but I got pipped by a teammate. But that's the way the game goes. So I got pipped, but I still ended up with Pyke, and here he is now. Yeah, the only place you could really source him was the leaderboard. The leaderboards that they brought around along with the accompanying SMSs only gave out 10 shards in the SMSs. Not really a lot. You got 14 shards on the elite side of the battle pass. Again, Pyke was always going to be a spenders to get it unless you'd saved up enough material, G3, G4, G5 materials in your respected brackets to actually go out and get him. You could have done it over the three leaderboards, or you could have done it all in one. So, but that was Pyke, and then obviously, oh, there's Barkley. Oh, hello, we don't need that. So we'll go back. Now, Spock, as you can see, I do finally have him, and I will be looking at doing a video on all three of these officers working together. How I'm going to do that, I don't know, because I put them on against a trader, hoping that the synergy with Pyke might work against a transport in Kronos. No, they failed miserably. So I've got to work my way around this one. Maybe this is going to be down to specific types of ships you go after, where you're going to be using, like Spock's officer ability, where he is good against interceptors, providing you put him on an explorer. So maybe this is where this hostile crew is going to come in, because this is for 52 plus. At the minute, some of the testing I've done, I can't see how, but like I said, it could come down to what you're specifically going after. So in this case, interceptors. Go after them and you're going to have a whale of a time. I haven't done that yet, but hey-ho. And then obviously, the other officer, Lalan. Now, the metas that we got for both her and Spock were literally just 10 shards each. That was it. And that's all you got. You got some in your battle pass, you got some in your elite battle pass, and then you had the ticketed events at the end of the month. But you had to be careful that you pick the right ticketed events to make sure you get them. So there is a chance that not every single free-to-play player got the 2 rares. In fact, they probably got no officers this month, which is really sad. And it's a detriment to Scopely, that the fact that some of the player base would not have got any of these officers. So bad move, Scopely, very bad move. We can only hope better next month, Incursions. But yeah, so, and another thing, they made Lalan a lower deck officer. Okay, yes, as I said, they were just giving the names of the characters, brief look what they were going to look like, and that was it. But yeah, if they'd have known she was the chief security officer for the Enterprise, then maybe they could have done something a bit more and not given her a lower deck ability. But she is what she is. She gives you that boost on a cargo, and I will tell you, it does work. It's not actually that bad. I took, during my first take on doing the Meridian video, I actually added her to the crew that I would use to try and drain bases with, so full cargo, maximum cargo size. She took the cargo of a Horizon from 1.93 million to 2.1 million. So she does work, and it is a good boost. I mean, that extra 200,000, give or take, is not bad. Yeah. So she does have a good size, and obviously increasing warp speed as an officer ability by 50%. Yeah, well, okay, we'll see. So they're the 3 officers. Now Barkley, or Broccoli as he became known in the Next Generation, unfortunately we're not quite sure how we're going to source him, and he is another below deck. I mean, he's bolster ship stores. Now I was always wondering that they'd have to do a protected cargo version, and this is it. The new officers they give us, they're going to give us Barkley to protect our cargo. He's constantly stuck in a flipping holodeck than actually doing his job. He turned into a freaking spider, for God's sake, because he invented a new T-cell type bug that infected the whole of the Enterprise and sent them back in time. And they want Him to protect our cargo? Broccoli's well known in the Star Trek universe. So they give him this. What did they give him for the officers? Officer ability? Increase base defense of all officers by 5%. What a waste of a character. What a waste of a character. Like I said, this is the first time I've actually properly looked at him. So, yeah, that is my reaction. Unfit to lead. Well, yeah, he is unfit to lead. I'll give him that. So, 1 out of 3. Meatloaf said it better. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. But unfortunately, 1 out of 3, yeah, that's just taking the proverbial biscuit. But anyway, so they're the 4 officers that we got. Now, like I said, the missions were good. The battle pass, as per usual, is not particularly too well. Materials, research. I'll throw the screenshot. In fact, I'll tell you what. It's still there because I'm obviously doing the video. What we'll do is we'll have another quick look at the battle pass. That's if it's still there. If it's not, then luckily I took screenshots. So, oh no, it's not there. So what we'll do is we'll just throw up the screenshots. And to be honest, it wasn't that bad. I mean, Syndicate XP, some trait XP, your standard materials and resources. Next month I'll be getting the G4 pass. So battle pass. We'll see that is. From what I've heard, it's just pure G4. There's no G3 in it, so I probably screwed myself over a bit there. Yeah, most likely. And yeah. But anyway. So, really, what has it been? Oh, yes, officers. Another plus for this month. Another plus for this month. Why am I going into the refinery? I do not know. We do not want the refinery. We want the recruit board. Again. So, as you remember, at the beginning of the month, I introduced these 4 officers that were brought into the transporter patterns, which finally gave us something more to go after. And this one is a 75% success rate because William Riker, yes, you get him going for Armadas. It's a more higher level Armadas and really complex crewing. You've got to understand it to help it work. Pretty good. 3 of 11, cargo protection. You need her. End of story. Nothing more to be said. Get her. And that's out of the box. TOS Kirk, a PvP officer whose abilities accumulates and gets bigger and bigger as the battle goes on. Cracking. The lemon for hit me in this was Sealer. Why Sealer? I mean, she doesn't really offer much except increase in critical bonus chances when cloaked. I don't go into fights with cloaked. I go into fights saying, look, here I am, I'm coming towards you, take me on or run away. That's the way I fight. I don't cloak. I'm not a Romulans. Then again, I think the Klingons did the same thing, didn't they? They decloaked and shot some people. But hey-ho. But yeah. So, why Sealer? I really don't know. But hey, it was 4 new officers, so that was a great start as well. Also, there have been some UI changes as well, as you may have noticed in the game. With arrows popping up. I mean, all this on the officers. So you can see that... if you just take a glance at Gayla, you can see she's a level 30, tier 5 already. So that's it. And if we also go down to some officers that are not so fortunate for that, I mean, we'll take TOS Uhura, level 10, tier 2. So that, it means I don't have to go into the officers. So that was a good addition to the game. On the ship upgrade menu, telling you how many, the maximum number of tiers in comparison to the tier that you're at. Yeah. Okay, maybe, whatever. Now, as I understand it as well, for your chat screen, if I could just get it into the open for you all to see it better. I'll tell you what, let's go into open space because it'll be easier to see there. And this is sort of a mixed bag for me because I'm kind of annoyed. So if you look at the bar at the top, as you can see, if you have the PC version, you will find a symbol next to that which opens up your chat and actually brings it here. Full screen. Not on a mobile device, it doesn't. Why? Why do the PC people get this, but yet the poor little mobile people who actually walk around playing the game without watching where they're walking, we don't get the option to have that little bit on the side of the screen so we can keep up with chat rather than constantly having to tap it, come out of it, tap it, come out of it, and things like that. It would be nice if that was brought to the mobile version. Android also hit some problems as well this month. I didn't really notice it, besides the fact that on my chat board the number of messages that I've got was still there after I'd checked them, but they eventually disappeared, so it wasn't a bugbear for me. The new board across brought up the banner, the way that looks, that is also brilliant. Change to the UI as well because it's more compact. It's non-clickable, but you can still get rid of it. You can grab hold of it and get rid of it, but when you hit it accidentally, it's not going to take you to another page and screw you up, really. But, yeah. So, how am I going to grade this arc? Well, to be honest, there's been some good, there's been some bad. What's really let it down for me is the fact it is a Spender's arc. It has been. Yes, there have been some other things as well, and I forgot to mention the bonus refinery, a week-long bonus refinery. That was something the dreams made of. However, it was a bit of a downer for some people because they just didn't have the materials, and it takes forever to mine the materials you need to go into it. I was pulling the 150,000 chests every single time. Luckily, I just had enough gas, I had just had enough ore. I had plenty of crystal. But that's the way it runs. I mean, yes, a good bonus refining, maybe 3 days might be the max, would probably be the best way. Let me know what you think about that one in the comment section down below. So, to end this video then, what we're going to give it, let me just move out into the open, get rid of them. Oh, hello. Oh, that'll do. So, Vamoose, thank you. And E. Yes, it's an E. Now, originally, before some of the improvements came in, and the fact that I was ranting and raving, the fact I couldn't get Spock and Alarm on free to play, when they finally put that in the last round of ticketed events this weekend just gone, it sort of changed my perspective of it because now I've got all 3 officers. But yeah. Oh, there's the recruit chest as well, wasn't there? For the Medal of Honor. Yeah. That was... I did try to do a video for that one, showing the pulls and how crap they were. 25 augers, some TOS Spock. I managed to access Lalande through that. But, so, yeah, okay, so originally I was looking at U, but now I'm actually going to go to an E. It's not been the best art by far. I don't even think I graded the Ferengi arcs this low. I prefer the Ferengi arcs. So, good officers this month. Bonus refinery. Good officers added to the transporter patterns. Missions pretty good. So, not bad. Letdowns, the Galaxy Tree research. The holodeck, a massive blaster. But watch out, that holodeck could become the future where we're going to get missions. So, it could end up being a good addition eventually in the long run. What I will say, the upside for it is it was only 1 level. You just built it and that was it. Why can't the rest of the buildings be like that? Like the generators. Why do we need to upgrade the generators? Just put them 1 level, produce it, and just keep on a continuous flow. But that's a debate for another video. So, it's time to end there, unfortunately. Like I said, I am working on the Meridian video. It is taking a bit longer than planned. I recorded to like 3/4 of an hour. Yes, you can imagine how much editing that's going to take, and unfortunately my editing software is being a bit of a cocker. It doesn't want to play ball, and unfortunately it cancelled a lot of it out saying there was an error in the video. Thanks, lost a lot. But that's what happens with technology nowadays, especially using mobiles. Anyway, this is Admiral Pegasus saying stay safe and live long and prosper, and I will catch you on the next video. Goodbye.